road, which I didn't anticipate the pavement ending. You're a long ways down there. But it's a pretty good dirt road. And so it's maintained, county maintained, it's graded. I thought, well, we can make it on down to Maricopa on this road, we'd be all right. I just had my pickup detailed the day before. I don't know how it got so dusty. It was that windstorm. So it took us an hour and a half to get from the house to Buckeye. It took us almost 4 hours to get home. Because Paradise Valley Road dumps you out on a gas line road that goes down to Mobile down there on the 238 highway that comes from Gila Bend. And when you get to the sign that says Maricopa County Maintenance ends right here, it's only like 5 miles an hour from there on. But we're way too far to turn around and go back. We had quite a few unique discussions as we were driving down. And I was reminded many times the benefits of thinking. And so I began to think, if I had stopped and prayed at the end of the pavement, which direction I would have went. I didn't stop to pray. I just kept on thinking. Oh, it ain't going to be that bad. I just kept on telling myself. I didn't stop and say, oh, wait a minute, things are looking a little worse than I anticipated. Maybe I ought to stop and say, oh, which way am I supposed to go? Because Dessa was telling me to go the other way.
I was praying, not thinking.
Perfect example of how good praying is versus thinking.
God works in mysterious ways.
He teaches us lessons. He teaches us real good lessons. We won't forget. That's a lesson I won't forget. We're on that gas line road and we've been on it for over an hour. And I mean, it's just like this, and you try to get off on the side, and it's worth. I mean, it's just go, just go. Too far to go back. So finally, after about an hour, we see a vehicle coming at us. It's like, there are other people out here. And this pickup comes up, and I flag him down, and I say, how far is it to the pavement? Because by now I'm praying. And he said, oh, the pavement's just right there. And we stopped thinking, and we remember to pray. I said, oh, I hear that. I don't want to hear you thinking. I want to hear you praying. God wants to know that you're going to reach out to Him in every detail of your life. Every time you have to make a choice. Every time you have to make a decision. Lord, what am I supposed to do here? We wake up in the morning and we ask the Lord, guide me through this whole day. And He said, okay, I will. But you got to remember I'm here. You got to remember when you're going to do something and you're not sure to ask me, not just think about it. Don't go beat your head against the wall. Yeah, that 4-hour trip won't be one that I don't think I'll probably ever forget it. But it'll remind me to pray next time when I'm not sure. Even just driving down the road. I'm not real sure which way I should go. Okay, I know what I need to do now. When I'm not sure, when I don't feel the Spirit leading me to go in a certain direction, or very confident to do a certain thing, well, wait a minute, maybe I disconnected, maybe I unplugged. Maybe I got my foot tangled up in the cord and I need to stop and look at things a little bit. I need to quit thinking and start praying. Lord, I have a privilege, a divine privilege to be able to reach out to God and say, God, I can't see down there, but you can. Do I go that way or do I go back? In every aspect of our life. Everything we're going to do. Lord, I can't see down there. But I know you can. And if I remember to reach out to you and you'll guide me which way I need to go to get where I feel like you're leading me to go. But I need to be praying. I need to be asking. I need to be reaching out to God. And when He does it, you're like, whoa, how did He know? How amazing is God that He would protect me? How many times can you say that you honestly knew that God protected you from something? Everybody here can probably say that, right? Honestly, God has protected me more than one time in my life. But I'm not going to ask Him every time. I'm going to bump my head against the wall a few more times before I learn to count on Him every time. See, He says, you have a divine privilege. Just reach out and ask me. I'm right there, and I'm hearing. And I hear your prayers. Have the confidence that He hears your prayers. Have the confidence that I know that if I call on Him, He'll answer me, and I'll be able to avoid a lot of the things I put myself through. I won't be my own worst enemy. I won't be my own headache. Go to Hebrews 11. In verse 6. Without faith it is impossible to please Him. For he that cometh to God must believe that He is, and that He is the rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. See, there's the key at the end that Paul does that a lot of times as they broke this apart the way they have, that the end of the verse is the driving force. He is, and that He is the rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. See, the rest of the verse is pretty much a moot point if we don't do the last part. If we're not diligently seeking God and reaching out to Him and praying Him at every chance we get, then the rest of it really kind of falls apart. It has to be us wanting to be closer to the Lord. It has to be us seeking Him out in a way that we're just with Him all the time. And wherever He has us doing, whatever He has us doing, and He gives us the words to say, if we have an opportunity to witness to somebody, okay, Lord, basically I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know that You'll work through me if I'll seek You out first. Okay, Lord, You give me the words to say, and however it turns out, and if it don't turn out the way I thought, I still did what it was open, and You did what You wanted to do. You're working on it. You'll get it done. You'll do what You had to do. If I will just be diligently seeking You and asking You and giving You full control, then whatever comes about is Your will. Nonetheless, not my will be done, but Yours. And then however it turns out, I have the confidence of knowing that if I prayed and I asked Him, that however it turns out was His will. And He will make things work the way that He wants it done in His time, not in mine. God is never silent or ignoring or putting us off or leaving us out. He's simply waiting for the time that He has appointed to fulfill our request that we would see His glory. That's His purpose. That's what He does. All things were created by Him and for Him. Was not anything created on earth that was not created by Him for His glory. And He'll work those out. But we have to have the frame of mind that Jesus did when He prayed, Lord, if there's any way this can happen this way, let's do it that way. If not, I still want to do it Your way, whatever that is. And I'm going to rejoice in the fact that I have the privilege, the divine privilege, to be able to pray to You and to ask You and to speak to You and know with full confidence that You will get it done. You will get it done just the way that You wanted it done. Because this is all part of what He's doing, part of His plan. Part of how He creates His image in us. Let's go to Nahum chapter 1. In verse 7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knoweth them that trust Him. He knows if you're trusting Him. He knows if you're counting on Him. And He's a good stronghold in the day of trouble if we're trusting Him. So it's up to us to learn to pray and trust. Pray and trust. All right, Lord, I'm going to pray with confidence that as I pray, I know You hear me. Your Bible, Your Word tells me that You hear me, so I'm going to pray in the confidence that You're going to do something somewhere. It's not important where, but I have the confidence in knowing that my prayers will be answered and You will do something. I don't know when, but I know You're going to do it. And I know when You do it, it will be for Your glory, not for mine. Your own purpose. What You had in mind when You put me on this earth. What You had in mind when You called me to where You are, where I am today. What You had in mind through all the days that I will serve You. Whatever You had in mind, that's what I want. That's what I want to see happen, because I have the confidence that in my prayers You will do what your plan is. David prayed for rain. Sent the servant, go look for clouds. No clouds. Okay, just keep praying. Another time, send him again. No clouds. Keep praying. Can you imagine what the servant was thinking? If this keeps up, he's buying me a new pair of shoes. He keeps sending me over there to look over the mountain, see if there's a cloud, and there's no clouds. I keep telling him there's no clouds. I can just hear the guy running back and forth, getting frustrated. This guy's driving me crazy. I'll run over there, come back, and there's no clouds. Okay, then go again. And then he comes back, there's one little cloud the size of a hand. Praise the Lord, it's going to rain. And the messenger boy said, this guy has lost it. I'm going home. But it rained in God's time. And when it rained, the guy with the wore out shoes and the frustrated guy said, wow, look what God did. We never realize, we never know how much effect our prayers have, not only on us, but on other people. Well, I've been praying about that for a long time. Wow, and it really worked? Yeah. Yeah, God really worked through my prayers. Huge ministry, huge testimonies. Not somebody else, well, you know what, I'm going to pray about it for a while and see what God does. You know, we're building each other's faith, we're lifting each other up, we're helping the church grow and get stronger through the testimonies of our answered prayers. Just in this congregation here, in the years that we have been here, I can't even begin to count the number of answered prayers we have seen. I mean, amazingly answered prayers. So miracles that have happened right here just through prayers. People that have been completely healed. They told Dale some years back that they told him, well, he's cancer's eating him up, and he ain't got we'll keep him as comfortable as we can, is what Judah told us. She was upset. He's going to be in a lot of pain, and she goes, well, he's not in any pain. And we prayed with him. We prayed for him. The next test, they said, well, we don't understand it. There's just no cancer. That was a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. Over and over and over, when we first began the prayer with the pastor here, Colleen, the lady that used to play the keyboard when we first came here, was on her way to Texas to see a new grandson. Before she got there, something happened, and they had to rush the baby stopped breathing. And they had to rush the baby to the hospital. She called her son at home, said, go down to the church. No, it was on a Sunday night. Go down to the church and tell them to pray. The first thing she did, the very first thought to her mind, go down and tell people at the church to pray for the baby. He came over here to the church, we prayed for him, diligently prayed for him, circled, grabbed hands, prayed for that baby that night. By the time she got to the hospital, the baby was breathing again. And I can go on and on and on and on of the times we have prayed and prayed and prayed for people right here, and God has reached out and done miraculous things through our prayers. But we just don't pray once and then say, okay, God, you got it. We have prayer journals where we do our prayers on Thursday. There's a lady in Sierra Vista that has kidney problems, and the doctors do not understand why her blood stays clean, because her kidneys are only working at 9 or 10 or 11%. But she's been on our prayer list for 3 years. They don't understand why she's not on dialysis. How come you can maintain on that percentage of function of your kidney and not have to be on dialysis? They can't understand. But Jose is a friend of Jose's, and we've been praying for her for at least 3 years. She has been here. We've laid hands on her and prayed for her, and she continues to go. She's active. She goes, and she does just like anybody else. And they just can't understand. Jeannie Carroll's daughter, complete healed. There's no cure for that. We can't do nothing about it. Well, we know you can. We know somebody who can. Amen. Becky Johnson, a friend of my sister's, we've never even met the lady. My sister told the church about a friend of hers that had a terminal cancer. There was nothing they could do, and she was going down to Houston for this big surgery, but it usually don't turn out good, and they were very, very apprehensive about it. And the ladies group began praying, and in prayer group we began praying for her, and we prayed, and she went down to Houston, and she had the first surgery, and then they sent her home and said, okay, she came home for the holidays, not this past year, the year before. And then she was going to have to go back down in Houston for another surgery, and they're very, very pessimistic about it. Wasn't very sure. Things weren't looking so good. We continued to pray. We continued to pray. Every time we got together, we prayed for Becky Johnson. When she got ready to go have her test, right before she went back to Houston, they said, well, we don't understand that there's nothing wrong with you. She never had to go back for the second surgery. She's home now. She's just living her life normal. Pray and don't stop praying. And we still pray for Becky Johnson. She's still on our prayer list. Because God hears those prayers. And in His time, He builds our faith, showing us what He can do if we just can remember to continue to pray. It's a privilege to be able to go to the Father in heaven and say, Lord, you know my heart. You know how I feel. You know what I'm thinking. And just stop me from thinking and remind me to pray. Remind me to quit relying on my thinking and relying on my praying. And whatever you're going to do, I'll give you glory for doing it. Like I said, I could go on and on and on and on about times when we stopped and prayed and something happened immediately or within a very short time or maybe a long time out. But God does what He promised He'll do. We just have to remember to pray. Don't stop praying. Nahum again, 1:7. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and He knoweth them that trust Him. We have to learn to trust Him in our prayers. We have to learn to pray and know when I pray, and no doubt in my mind, He's going to do something. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not sure it's going to go along with the way I think, but I know He's going to do something. And when He does, I'll go, wow, why didn't I think of that? Because you were busy thinking and not praying. So the next time you start to think to pray. The next time your gear kicks in, well, I want to think about that. See, no, you know what I think? Instead of thinking about it, I'll go pray about it for a little bit. And I'll see what God tells me to do. And if I just do what God tells me to do, I don't have to worry about thinking anymore, and I won't get myself in so much trouble. Thinking and praying. When it should just be praying and praying some more. We got a couple songs we're going to close with. Y'all come on up.
I know one thing. I'm driving with him if he's got to think about it.
Our hope has to be in the one that can answer our hope. Our hope can't be in our thinking, because our thinking mine hasn't done me a whole lot of good in my day. And as of Saturday, the cruises still don't work.
That's a good color for you.
But God is good. He's a strong one in the day of trouble.